Hello, everyone, and welcome to a brand new year. We are a little bit behind the curve here at Profusion Strategies, mostly because we caught the ick that's been going around. But we are still early enough in the year to say Happy New Year and to jump in over the next several weeks and share with you what we see as some of the key trends influencing leadership and really people development over the course of the coming year and a little bit beyond. So stay tuned for the rest of this, but we're going to start with trend number one today. And that is that we really project, and most experts agree, that we are going to continue to see gaps in worker supply. So not enough workers to fill the job demands that we have, and also a mismatch between skill sets. So not having enough of workers with the right kind of skill set to meet the demands of the workforce. So currently in the US alone, we have 8 million jobs, but only 6.8 million workers to fill those jobs. Those are US Chamber of Commerce statistics. So we are continuing to see that gap between demand and supply here. In our state here, in the state of Tennessee, we see a gap of over 60,000 workers. And that trend is expected to persist and continue to grow. If you've been around, if you've attended any of our events, you know that we're often quoting the statistic that we expect globally that this gap will grow to as much as 85 million people by 2030. One of the reasons that we see this trend continuing, despite what's been some economic uncertainty over the past year, is just the fact that we have this silver tsunami, the idea that our baby boomers continue to reach retirement age at a faster and faster clip, to the point where 1 in 5 of the members of the US population, so 20% of US population overall, over the next 5 years will be 65 or older. So again, 20% of US population by 2030 at 65 or older. Those are sort of demographics that we haven't seen in over 100 years. So an aging population. As a result, we're going to have a need to really upskill younger workers in the workforce to replace those older, more experienced workers as we lose them. And we continue to see that being the case, even though you are seeing some upheaval, some layoffs in specific industries, in specific locations. Overall, if you pull out to that 40,000-foot view, we continue to see that there will be this gap between worker demand and worker supply. So what do? Employers need to really focus on strategic workforce planning, trying their best to predict the kind of workers and the number of workers and the specific skill sets that they're going to need, really laying those alongside their strategic plans, their operational objectives over the coming years. Obviously, focusing on things like retention and engagement, making sure that the talent and the skill set that you do have internally is as sticky and as loyal as possible, and that you're losing as few of them as possible. And then finally, we see the best way to address this as really focusing in a proactive way on succession planning. So thinking about the workers you may lose to retirement or otherwise over the next 2, 3, 4 years, looking at your internal workforce and really asking yourself, who will be ready to step into those roles? Who do we have that could be ready with some additional development? And certainly, if that's something that you feel like you need support with, we're here to help. That's quite a bit of the work that we've been doing with clients over the past several months. So those are some of the trend, the first big trend that we're seeing, and some of the ways we think you can address it. I appreciate you tuning in. Stay tuned. Join us back for the next several trends that we're going to cover and be keeping our eyes on for 2025.